Hello, I'm so happy to be back. I don't know why I feel like I haven't live streamed in a while, but that is not the fact because I do stream twice a week, every single week, Tuesday afternoon, as well as Friday morning. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Holly Lee. I am a leadership career coach. I'm here to help you land a position with your dream company of choice. I focus a lot of my experiences having worked from startup to 90% of the FAANG companies in the world. And I'm extremely passionate to help you get to the end result that makes you happiness and joyful in the work that you love. If you have questions for me, please put the giant Q in front of your question because that allow my eyesight, which is fairly poor lately, to look at your questions and answer them as quickly as possible. If you're new to my channel, let me know where you are tuning up from. Let me know what you care about. And if you're shy in the background, you just want to hang in there and watch my content to check me out. It's all good, but at least give a girl a thumbs up in the live chat. When you do that in my video, it really helps grow my channel. And regarding the growth, thank you so much, everyone who's been supporting my channel from the very beginning of time. It hasn't been that long ago since I started live streaming. That was actually in the very beginning of 2020 when the pandemic hit. Thank you to all of you guys. I went from 500 subscribers to nearly 20,000. Thank you. Can you please get an amen? If you're not here, then I won't be live streaming and pumping out content that you care about. Okay? So if you can hear me, please let me know. Tell me that you can hear me. So I'm not going to spend the next hour and a half talking to myself. Hey, Con Vu, how are you, Purple Sparkle? Always here, always on time from Spain. At Dugaca, Jose. Long time, Jose. How are you? I'm going to go to the very bottom first because I need to know you guys are not listening to me. If you can hear me, can you please say yes? My audio is functioning, but you'll never know. I often hit the wrong button and end up muting myself, and I don't want to waste your time. Thank you so much, Bear in the Wild. Okay, let's go. I'm ready for this. I'm really pumped out because yesterday was a holiday and I had my 2 hour VIP group coaching cohort earlier, literally just about half an hour before this. So I'm fully pumped, ready to continue this party. And guys, if I could coach you on live stream for 24 hours without a kid, I probably would. You know what? I may just do a marathon in one of the weekends where you can see myself and my kid dancing in the background. God knows what we'll be doing and just having a good time. Okay? Because I'm truly passionate to coach. Twana, how are you, Twana? Your LinkedIn profile is looking good. Keep it up. Keep it up. Gave you some feedback. Oliver, how are you, Oliver? Hope all is well with you as well. Tamra, welcome and being the newest member of my career tier. What that means is that if you guys are interested, no pressure, is starting at $3.99 to be a pay YouTube member, which means you're supporting my work and the Tuesday free coaching. And for my pay YouTube member, the community tab inside of YouTube is designated for all of my template, everything that I'm doing. For example, questions to ask the interviewer, my template, and how you tell me about yourself. Everything is housed in the community tab. You just have to click the giant join button. Okay? Thank you so much, Tamara. Simply Delta. Simply Delta. You work for Delta, girl? Do you work for Delta? I have my loop interview tomorrow. I wish I felt more confident, but I'm going to get there by tomorrow. You know what? If you have an interview that's literally tomorrow, don't spend your time in being stressed out. Make sure that you sleep for the bare minimum 8 hours because it is mentally draining. It's not just Amazon. Even if well, that's not a good comparison. If I live stream for 10 hours straight, I really don't feel like I'm exhausted because I actually love what I do. But in jokingly aside, you need to make sure that if you drink caffeine, you have multiple cups of coffee and water next to you. Okay. And if you guys haven't had the opportunity, I have a playlist called Virtual Interview, which is video interviewed. I actually recommend budget friendly gear, like a webcam, for example. How to use, I don't know where mine is, your iPhone or whatever headset that you use, so that you can sound interview ready like this. Okay. Just to let you all know, take a deep breath and let me know how it goes. Simply Delta. Morgan says, I have my first phone interviewed, found Holly's video a few days ago, and I've been bang watching to prepare. Yes, talking about Holly's video this weekend, just this weekend alone, the last, what, 3-day holiday, I have 6 people who reach out to me via LinkedIn to tell me that they landed an Amazon job offer by simply watching 80% of every single one of my video. 80% meaning these folks watch every single thing that has the word Amazon title on it, and they are level 6s. I would say majority of all of them are level 6s, and they're across the world. Okay. So it does happen. There's a lot of free content on my channel. There's playlists designated on that. I know I'm not doing a good job in organizing my playlist. I'm really trying, guys. I'm trying. There's a lot more good stuff in the kitchen. That doesn't make sense. Good stuff in the kitchen. There's a lot more planning, a lot of work to be done. I'm so excited. I'm stoked because I love YouTube and I love video. I want this to be a a prime video for Amazon, right? Meaning that you know exactly where to go to get all of the Amazon content. Now, I don't just talk about Amazon. I am starting to talk more about other FAANG companies as well, because if you guys read and listen and watch my content carefully, you can really, it's a big secret, guys, implement the exact same strategy for every single other companies you interview for. Because my coaching community and even you guys who's watching my free content end up getting multiple offer. Okay. So don't think that I'm only talking about Amazon. If you guys notice, I don't talk about the Amazon leadership principle. I don't. I'm coaching you to talk about being so concise, sharp, very specific answers when you're creating your stories in landing job offers. Offers with the S, which means it's not just Amazon, right? Even with Amazon alone, I want you to get multiple offers from different teams because I'm greedy that way. It is to my best interest, genuinely, to help you get out there because professional, I know how it feels to be affected by the pandemic. Um, Even if you're not, I know how it feels to land your first job at the big companies. Some of you are already at the big players. Generally, my channel does not attract that because 95% of the folks who's watching my content have never worked for a brand name company before, which is what I love. Okay. So, Morgan, since you have your first phone interviewed, make sure that you watch every single video that has the word strategy, interview prepped, and stories. There's a lot of template. I'm basically sharing every single one of my personal template, which I've created time in walking you through invent and simplify my career failure, my weaknesses, my superpower, my most innovative thing that I've done at Amazon, you name it. It's free, by the way. It is all free. Did I mention free? Alrighty, moving on. Edugarca, hello there. Edugarca from Spain. I love Spain. Purple Sparkle Felicity. I'm going to call you PSF. P, tongue twist, PFF, PSF. How are you? Hey guys, let's do something special for Holly. Let's give her a thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was actually feeling a little bit down today. But coming to this live stream really makes my day. You guys have no idea. Even though I'm talking to the camera lens right now, at least I know someone's watching. I don't know why. YouTube just love thumbs up emoji for the algorithm. I can't even explain it. Edugarca from Spain says, I think you have an interview coming up if I'm correct. Okay, where are you? Where are you? Next week, panel interview with Amazon. I hope Holly can help me today with some tips. Well, Edugarca, let me know what, be very specific and let me know what type of question you have for me. Okay, remember, it is not an Amazon thing. It's just business judgment. When we have conversations specifically in the workplace environment of any employer, any, even startup, we have to be very, very specific. I've been talking about specific all day long until the cow comes home. In my cohort, for my pay client, for my free client, it doesn't matter. I treat you all the same as far as the information, okay? Be very specific and let me know what role you're interviewing for and where you're interviewing for. That way, if there's any other information, I can share with you right off the bat. Bear in the Wild says, hi fam, happy fake Monday. You too, Bear. Hey, Harry. How are you, Harry? Hello, Quan Vu. How are you? Jose, it's been a long, I feel like it's been a really long time. Purple Sparkle, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop it in. You can tell who's been with me for a while. I have my VIP cohort in here. I have my branding accelerator in here. A lot of my customer who also landed a job offer is also in here. I see you. I know exactly who you guys are. Thank you for supporting my work. Let's go to questions, shall we? Thank you for the thumbs up, Jose. Violetta, how are you, Violetta from Vienna? Sanjeev, hey Sanjeev, how are you? I hope all is well. Arun, hello, first time listening. Hello, Arun. Thank you so much for being brave and coming in here. By the way, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe because when you subscribe to my channel as I'm live streaming, you will get a notification during the live stream. Okay? I'm not going to spam you. You're just going to get a notification. Vankit, hello Vankit. I'm a big fan of you and your videos. Well, thank you. Thank you. Working hard here. Working hard here, Vankit. Ethel691, didn't you get a job or something last week? Ethel691 says, greetings from Mexico. I have a 60-minute interview for account executive next Monday. Final tip for that round. Thanks so much for your channel. I love it. Okay, that must be Ethan from. You guys change your nickname a lot, and sometime when you do, you come back and yeah, I know who you are. I know I have eyes. I can see everything. Even though I'm silent, I can see and hear everything. Okay. For the final interview, for your first round interview, for your last round interview, it's the same thing. Amazon doesn't play around, people. They do not. You need to be as authentic as you can. And I teach this in my group coaching cohort that you have to be very, your tone have to really make the interviewer feel like why you deserve the job. And you have the ownership for the role, meaning if you have to really pay attention to the interviewer, obviously, but you have to really act like you want the job without coming across desperate. Let me give you an example, okay? Are you guys ready for this? Listen to my tone right here. You have to show up with confidence. You need to know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter what question you guys are asking me when it comes to interviewing with any company. I don't care what topic it is with career coaching, leadership coaching. I don't care. Career transition, it doesn't matter at all because this is my niche. This is my space. This is something that I've been doing the last 20 plus years. I also don't care what technology you're asking me. I can still answer that. I don't need to create a question because literally I have been paying very close attention to everything that I do in my career and being very strategic when I work for an employer. So when you're ready to interview with any employer, in this case Amazon, because who here is not interviewing with Amazon? Give me a thumbs up or raise your hand if you're not interviewing at Amazon because 99% of you guys are. But if you are or not, the feedback and my tip to you is the same thing, okay? You have to have a level of confidence starting from your voice. You must do that, professional. If you don't, even if you have tremendous amount of experience, great business impact, you're able to help your corporation save, let's just say $50 billion even. Number is big, right? Impressive, right? But if you cannot present that data, you're not going to get hired with any employer. Okay, this is what I mean by the toned. I would love it if someone could put me in the mix with all the other career coaches and do a battle in like a group coaching and where we can press a button to say, hey, give me your best answer. How do you transition someone, for example, TPM with no TPM experience? Boom, go. And I'll be ready to go. It's called being able to answer ad hoc questions because you know so much about what you've done. Okay. So the best thing I can tell you all as you're going to your final round is you need to be prepared with your story by knowing what you've done, not just write your story and you're good. Okay. Not just record the same story over and over 100 times and you're good. I'm talking about the entire thing. I've created 17, which is 16 to 17 questions and answer template in my Amazon leadership principle questions and examples, right? Pretty specific. I am also a minimalist. So if I, and forgive me with those videos, that was during the pandemic. As you can tell, I was using a green screen in the background. That is because it was during the time that my home went through a flood and we basically had my whole condo had hole in the background. That's why I had a green screen. That's why you're seeing myself like all up in the lens, like I'm about to eat that lens. That is why, because I also had no gear at the time. And it took me about 6 months to rebuild everything you're seeing right now, my whole studio, including the mic that I'm talking on. Everything was destroyed. That's why when you're watching my content, just excuse the production quality, but read the template I have for you and pay very, very close attention to the step by step. Okay? Wani, Umawami, Umawami. First time listening from Nigeria. Very nice. Very, very nice. Sanjeep says, "Hi, Holly. I got resolved my second phone interviewed, and I have been told they are processing further." What does that mean? Processing offer? Could you suggest what's the meaning of the email, please? I'm trying to understand what the question is first, my friend. After carefully consideration and review of our applicants, decided to process with another candidate for this role, unable to provide. I don't even need to read more because the system generated. Basically, what they're trying to say is you're not a good fit for this position. Whatever that reason is, don't mold over it, don't drill over it, move on. Sanjeev, go watch my fail Amazon interview process. For all of you who did not fail an Amazon interview, fail other interview, still watch it. It's the same thing. Like I said, all companies are the same feedback, right? Because I talk about what you need to do to figure out where you have failed and what is the next step for you to go through that gap. Okay? Do not, I'm begging you, do not go back and reapply for a position because, God forbid, people don't listen. They don't read and they don't watch. Please do listen very carefully. When you've had failed interviews, don't apply to position. Okay? Try to figure out where the gap is. The number one reason people fail is because their story is not clear, they don't have relevant experiences, but you can still get the job by being very specific in the example that you provide because company in general are looking for doer. Yeah? Doer with really strong bias for action that can figure it out on their own. I gave an example a month ago where I talked about hiring a pizza delivery driver who works graveyard and a full-time student, and she had multiple jobs to support her brother. By the way, that person is still at Amazon, and she went from a recruiting coordinator who helped me schedule my candidate interviewed, to now a program manager for recruiting. Yeah. Yeah, it happened. 6 years later, she's still at Amazon. And I can go on and on and on. I've hired fresh new grad with no experience. Of course, they have to start from the very bottom, right? I'm talking about no industry experience whatsoever. I promoted that person 3 times at Amazon. And when I went to Facebook, because I know his work, I moved him over and he is still at Facebook. You see where I'm going? All day long. Companies don't just look for specific experiences, okay? For what reason? I'm going to talk about that in a different setting, but not in this one. This one, I just wanted to answer your question in Q&A setting. So why I'm telling you this is it's okay to fail interviewed because the bar racer at Amazon, majority of them have also failed multiple times. Hell, if I were to go back to Amazon, I probably would fail too. I'm just kidding. But you see where I'm going because there's a lot of folks. Amazon does international recruiting and recruiting blisses. Why? One may ask. Across the world, right? Because every single person in Seattle have already bombed their interview at Amazon. That's a fact. Why do you think they're hiring in Spain? Why do you think they're opening offices in like different part of the world? Why do you think they're opening a second headquarter? It's because they want to focus on talent that's not willing to relocate, and they can't just focus on Pacific Northwest. It just doesn't work for a company like Amazon to help them scale. Okay? And thank you for the thumbs up. Ooh, Neha. I like you and your content so much. Well, thank you, Neha. Appreciate you coming by and dropping a note. When you guys are watching and you don't comment or at least say hello, that is just rude if you don't say hello to me. When you do that, I'm not really sure if the new folks who's coming in. So generally I would have about 50-50%. my member, you can tell because they have emoji right next to their name, as well as 50% new, attracting new folks. Okay. I'm motivated to work harder and pump up different content for you guys, knowing that I'm adding value. So if you're quiet in the back end, it's kind of hard for me to know that I'm talking to the screen. Ranjit, hello, Ranjit. I just cleared Amazon assessment gig for QAE too. Good for you. Good for you. Tamara says, good luck to Simply Delta. One kid says, I have my first phone interview this week for TPM. There's a lot of TPM hiring right now, more so than um, all the time I've been there. Bear says, not me, not interviewing at Amazon. That's good. I get really excited when my question is not Amazon related because I feel like I have so much knowledge. I don't want to just focus everything in one environment. Why should you guys put all your eggs in one basket? Ranjita says you're in Seattle. Yes. Yes. Actually, it's Go 49er and not Seahawk, but yes, Seattle's in the house. Alicia, good luck to you passing your first phone interview. Let me know how that goes. Yep. Um, at Dugasho from Spain says the role is a team manager driver process improvement. Wow, that's a new role. I don't think I've heard of that one before. First interview with the recruiter and second with the hiring manager. Now go to the panel one. The recruiter is not, it technically is not an interviewed. It's called pre-qualifying you for the role before they move you forward with the hiring manager. But the recruiter's note is also in the system. Even if the recruiter is not inclined to hire, at the end of the day, it's up to the hiring manager. Okay, just to let you know. But the recruiter's note is also valuable. If the recruiter and the hiring manager, hiring team has a great relationship, especially if that person have been with Amazon for a while, their feedback is highly valuable. Oh my God, this is fun. Alicia says, wait, I'm quite surprised because I spend so much time talking about my examples. Yes, it's all about your example. Amazon believed that if you have the goods, you would be able to back up whatever ad hoc or probing question. Okay. That's why I harp on a lot of my coaching community to do the work and know their background really well. And I know I talked about this before where I'm not a cup of tea for a lot of people because sometimes I feel like I'm yelling at my clients and you really shouldn't be doing that. But I feel like they need to hear honest feedback because if I don't give you guys honest feedback, who on earth would, right? If you fail your interview and I hear you, as in really hear your voice, I just need to ask you one question. Even if I ask you basic question, right? Tell me about yourself. I have not had anyone who's able to answer that. Even like my executive clients, it takes them about 10 minutes. True story. 10 minutes. I'd be lucky to get 5 minutes to hear them. And they really tell me about every single thing that they've done versus talking about the meat of their career and how that is adding value into like an Amazon environment. That's tell me about yourself. A lot of people have different versions of tell me about yourself and this and that. Please note that everything that I'm sharing with you guys is as authentic as possible. This is what I know that has worked. When I was recruiting 10 years prior to becoming a recruiting manager for, God, what company was it? Even back in agency days, okay? I just kind of know what these leaders are asking for. They don't want to hear, they don't want to know anything about you. They just want you to get to the root cause of basically how are you going to deliver if I hire you? And are you going to come to me with a lot of questions? Do you have the smart and good business judgment to figure it out on your own? Okay? Tamara says, is it normal to have a phone interview, then go straight to a viral interview? Of course. That means you did fantastic, Tamara. Okay? That's why. That's actually the normal process. Hello, Morgan. How are you? Mohammed. Mohammed's from Berlin. How are you? Had a phone interview last for BI waiting for results. Fingers crossed for you. AZ Moose. AZ Moose says, first time watching, have my panel interview next week for operational L6 Operational or operation manager could also be L5 as well. Many thanks to your content. It helped me focus my prep. You're welcome. Fall 2020. I failed one Amazon interview today. I did not have the background they were looking for. Do I need to wait for a few days to apply for a new position at Amazon? How can I work with you to prepare? Well, first of all, you need to watch my fail Amazon interview because it literally walk you through the next step. That's why I've created it, because 50% of the people who's watching my channel have already failed the Amazon interview. The other 50 haven't interviewed. So it's a 50-50, okay? When you fail your interview, you better know where you fell and how you fell before you reapply for any position, even different role. Okay. How do you even know if that role is good for you? And that led me to talk about right here. I would also reviewed your resume and your LinkedIn profile in my private Facebook group. Okay. Figure out where you have failed, figure out a strategy to fill the gap before you continue applying for job, because that would be a waste of your time, and you don't want to be that person that has 50 or 10 fail interview in the system. Do not do that. It's also a red flag when they see that you're applying to different positions so often and you fail them all. Okay? So go check that out. And if you have other questions, fall 2020, reach out to me via LinkedIn and let me take a look at your profile from there and see what we can do to help you. Ranjita says, how will the 1 hour phone interview be like? What should I concentrate? Guys, make sure, don't forget to tell me what role you're interviewing for. So this is more relevant. But initially, the phone interview is just to know if you have the foundation for the role. Okay. It really depends on the interviewer. So it's unfair for me to say, yeah, it'll be all behavioral question. Oh, yeah, it's all technical question. Depending on the mood, to be honest, and what type of interviewers you're getting. If you are a technical professional, then most likely it's going to be technical question, right? Technical question is, for example, tell me how you build Netflix. I'm just totally making that up, okay? And tell me how to problem solve tic-tac-toe. That's another one. These are STE, problem solving and resolution question. If you're not able to pass that, a good engineer should be able to do within 30 minutes, because the entire interview, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. Give or take 15 minutes, warm up. How are you? How's your day talk, right? And other question as well. Now, a good interviewer would also ask probing questions to guide you into solving the problem. But the bare minimum, your phone interview is allowing the interviewer to know if you could be a potential fit. And if they're in doubt and not sure, that's where you have the second phone interview. Someone in here earlier mentioned that they get invited to the on-site right away. That's a good thing. That means you've done really well, okay? Hi, Gloria. You welcome. Morgan Taylor says, you have also inspired me to apply to places other than Amazon. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Don't just focus on Amazon. The grass is so much greener. There's some amazing companies out there, okay? Amazing company. Alicia says, I wanted to say that perhaps I talk too much. Your advice is answering behavioral questions in 1 minute for me. I took 7 or more because I was nervous. If you give an answer for more than 1 minute, the odds of you passing it is extremely slim. I recommend more like 30 to 45 seconds. In my group coaching cohort, I actually teach them and train them how to get there. And it takes time, guys. It takes a lot of the time to be there to do that, because unless you practice and you follow instructions, it doesn't work. Okay. Even for 1 full minute, you need to keep that interviewer engaged for 1 minute. That's a long time. So if you're talking for 7 minutes, it doesn't matter how good you are, you will lose them. Okay. Unless a 7 minute ping pong interview where they ask you a question, you give them an answer, it goes back and forth, then yes, that's completely different. And that's what probing question is for. So don't overspill the bean and give them too much information. Mohammed says, I have an assessment to do with Amazon. What should I expect? You should go watch my Amazon assessment video. You really, again, guys, when you're asking a question, please, 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 you see what I'm saying that people don't listen? Please put the big Q in front of your question and tell me what position you're applying for. For instance, if you're an SDE, the tip that I'm giving you is different from an ops manager, which means there's going to be some number or math tests in your assessment, okay? Thank you, Purple Sparkle. Punet. Hello, Punet. How are you? Let me go down here. Hey Sue says, I already had 2 interviews for senior maintenance planner position. Now I was invited to an on-site round for 4 interviewed. What are 4 interviewed? You mean a loop of 4 people? Would all these still be about leadership principle or should I be more technical? Here's the thing. I watch, I pay attention to the YouTube community and see what all the other content creators or coaches talk about. And a lot of people talk about leadership principle. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Biggest secret from an ex-Amazonian, also Todd interviewed. Okay. Yes. I was also nominated to be a bar raiser 2 times in my first 6 months. You need to know what the leadership principles are, but you shouldn't put all your energy on the LP. Shocker, right? You have to know what the LP is to the point where if you look at your answer, which one of those LP is relevant. But guys, if your answer is that good, you would have hit the LP at least 80%, right? So I wanted to challenge you to think bigger, to dive deeper into being creative with your answer versus just focusing on 14 leadership principle. It is a lot for anyone's soul, okay? A lot of creator mentioned that you need 2 to 3 examples for each. So rather than focusing 2 to 3 example, for example, deliver result, all of them should have delivering result. Am I right or am I right? Why would you give an answer if you don't have the business impact? What is business impact? Is the result. Okay, it's an ROI. So I have a whole list of 17-ish or so question in my playlist, the Amazon LP questions and answer. Even if you look at it, even if you look at any of my video at all, you notice one pattern. I don't get stuck in the LP. I don't. But for some reason, if I make a video tomorrow, I said leadership principle example, my algorithm will go up on fire. Here's the thing. I need you guys to think outside of the box, know the leadership principle, but more importantly, know what you have done. How do you know what you have done? Use the STAR method. Don't just put, here's my situation, here's my, no. That's not what I mean. If you take a look at my template, any of my templates, starting with this one right here, this is my start download. When you do that, you put your name and your email address. A PDF will come up. Even if you look at it word by word, I'm literally telling you exactly every single thing I've done for consumer, how I built a team as an IC, just a lead recruiter. I wasn't even hired as a manager. I became a manager almost overnight, and I was able to get a lot of money to get a budget approval from Jeff Wilke. If you don't know him, he was basically the left arm of Jeff Bezos, okay? All of that, if I were to read that story out word by word, it's about 30 to 45 seconds. Do you see that? So this is what I mean. All of the templates are there, but you need to ask yourself before your final loop, okay? Before your final loop. And if you're interested in Amazon, don't go from step 1 to step 100. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, you need to know what the leadership principles are. 2, you need to know my top pick of all the behavioral questions that Amazon uses that all the other company, what do? They basically duplicate the question. Let's be real here, okay? And then what else do? You start creating your answer by using the STAR method. And what did I do to help you? I give you a template. Guys, can I please say amen here? Do you guys have any idea how long it takes to create a template for you all? I know and I can tell if you actually read through it by the question that you're asking. Okay? So I genuinely wanted you to land multiple offer with multiple company, but you're going to use that strategy. It's not an Amazon strategy. It's a Holly Lee strategy, which is get concise, to the point, get right to the point. The 45-second, 1-minute elevator pitch, Amazon didn't teach me that. I did because I I remember all the time that I was at Amazon, I was at Google, I was at Facebook. It doesn't matter how fast or how slow an organization move. No one has time to listen more than about 30 seconds. They will yawn and fall asleep. Okay. How else do I know this? I also run coaching cohort twice a week. If I'm talking or someone else is talking more than about 15 seconds and nobody understand them, even if they're executive, nobody listens and they will be lost. So your interviewer, your especially the final loop, not all of them are going to have your background. Not all of them come from your industry. Not all of them understand what you're saying. That's why the power of the STAR method transform you to the meat, and that's it. Okay? Don't argue with me. Just do every single thing. And let me repeat myself again. Just the weekend alone, 6 people told me they landed an Amazon job offer just by watching my free content. Okay. In 2020, nearly 500,000 people land a job offer at Amazon and get multiple offer. I counted and I did the number just off of my YouTube. That's just YouTube, by the way. Every single week, I have at the bare minimum 10 people who landed a job offer for free just off of YouTube. Okay. Because those people are so adamant in getting a job, and a lot of them can't afford to hire a coach, but they roll up their sleeve. They did every single thing, and I was impressed because when they reached out to me on LinkedIn, they didn't just say, Holly, thank you for the content. I landed a job at Amazon. They said, hey, thank you so much. I watched all of your video, this playlist right here. I created my own story. I didn't realize I was so long-winded. Oh my God, I didn't realize I've done so much until I started following your template and your example and start working backward to think about what I've all done and how I did it. Holly, I got the job as a level 6, and before that, I couldn't even get a job with startup, and now Amazon wants to hire me and make me an L6 offer. You see where I'm going? You guys see where I'm going. All right. All righty. Are you enjoying this? If you're enjoying this, please say yes. Punet, how are you, Punet? Talking about Amazonian. I'm good, Holly. How are you? I'm just waiting for my day one at Amazon TikTok. I know. Enjoy the ride, Punet. Enjoy the ride. I think, people would seem to say that when you started a new job, you know how it doesn't matter if you could do the job with your eyes closed. Mentally, you feel really draining and really tired because you have to learn the process, learn the system, all of the administrative stuff. Amazon, it's not that why you're tired. It is because you have a lot of high level, also depth. I'm not talking about how to use the system. I'm talking about who are your customer, what problem are they going, and how are you going to solve it as a new Amazonian. And I have a private Facebook group, and I think you're in it, Punit. I'm sorry if it's a wrong Punit, but I'm pretty sure I sent you an invite. In there, I do stream once a month, not stream, but I had a Facebook chat where I can see my member who had already landed a job at Amazon and other company as well. It's not just Amazon, where I asked them, right? And this is why I'm giving you the feedback I am. What has changed since I last left Amazon about 3 years ago? And they all tell me the same thing. They said, Holly, your 30, 60, 90 days onboarding playlist, it really helped. At first, I was just trying to capture all the information. I have 3 months before I'm being evaluated, and I have the 6 months period. Have a Amazon used to have a annual review. I don't know if they still do that, but they have the mid review, which is every 6 months, right? And they thought that, okay, in the first 3 months, I'm going to get settled in, know how to walk the talk before I actually build things and watch it, bring it to market and watch it generate revenue. And they said, Holly, because of your video, I didn't wait for someone to ping me to schedule a meeting. I didn't wait to know who my stakeholders are. I went straight to my manager, asked him the list of questions because I actually talked about this in the onboarding playlist. And he was so impressed that I was on top of the game. Within 3 weeks, are you guys ready for this? Within 3 weeks, one of my level 6 product manager got a performance review kudo. It's called Anytime Feedback. Within 3 weeks, guys, in a virtual, this is like quite a few months ago, and they're still not in the office yet. To build a relationship with a remote team across the world is hard, especially when you've never worked for a company like Amazon before. But someone actually went in and gave him kudo points for bias for action, where he was sharing with me that it was rare for that hiring manager and Pure said when someone start, they usually take their time to learn the onboarding process and get settled. This person just go 0 to 1,000 miles an hour and ready to solve problems, right? So this is why I am sharing you what I'm sharing you. Vushali, hello, great seeing you again. Okay, I hope that helped for all of you who are asking me about final loop, so on and so forth. You just have to make sure that you come in prepared, right? Let's go with Jesus says 4 people, 4 different interview times on the same day. Yep, yep. Especially right now, Amazon has more candidate pool than ever. Of course, they're going to leverage their international team, right? And people get burned out in general, I don't want my interviewer to interview more than probably about 6 people a day. A day. So imagine if you're the hiring manager and you have to hire 5 people or worse, 10 people for your org, right? And you have people working for you, but not everyone is calibrated. What is calibrated? That means there's shadow interviewer who they get to sit back, don't say anything, but they're trying to learn from that interview, even bar racer. They have to be calibrated so they know what the Amazon bar is in order to interview you. Okay. Jesus, both personal and technical, also including coaching opportunities. Thanks, Purple. Edugarsha says, should I use the same experiences for interview panel? No. And that also tells me that you haven't seen any of my playlists or the video yet because I talked about this in almost 80% of all of my Amazon interview prepped. And I talk about this definitely in the STAR method. Everything that has to do with STAR and creating your story, all of my example to not ever recycle your story. If you're going to recycle the same situation, you cannot be repeating yourself the same. Okay? You want them to know you have more than one experience. Huh. Jesus says, I am ready with my LPs and example on details with my personal mark. Twana, thank you for following instruction. The one person who followed my instruction and put the giant Q in front. Thank you, Twana. Thanks a lot for your feedback regarding my LinkedIn profile. I have updated it. Kindly update me more. My intention is to apply both technical and managerial role. Excellent. Twana, the intent of my branding accelerator, LinkedIn and or resume is that you don't have to just apply to a job. You want your branding to be so good that you're attracting employers to reach out to you. Okay? It does work. I haven't really had anyone who's done every single thing I asked them to do and not being able to get the return on investment almost immediately because they have fixed everything where it catches the recruiter's eye, where I want to fall off my chair. Because in my training, especially the interview accelerator, I'm sorry, not interview, the resume accelerator, it teaches you how to hit those keywords or buzzword for the position you're trying to go after. Okay. If you're looking for both IC and managerial work, your LinkedIn branding have to be in there, right? You can't, for example, you can't just talk about leadership, the head of something, and then in your body, all your titles are people management. So somewhere along the line, you have to talk about, for example, solution architect instead of saying a leader of solution architect. So if you want a blend IC or managerial, it sounded like you just want the opportunity to work for the right company, solving the right problem to your liking, but you have to make that very, very clear. Punet, punet, punet. Purple says, do not argue with Holly. Thank you. Arun, I know that this is your first time. If you have a question, please do feel free to drop it in, okay? Purple Sparkle says, like the button. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When you guys put the like button in the emoji, it helps attract other folks who ask I'm live streaming. Once the live stream is over, people generally don't care to watch or rewatch a live stream, even though, guys, I put timestamp in all of them for you. Of course. Dominic says, thank you so much for all your video. I received an email 2 hour after my phone screen inviting to the on-site following week. Does Amazon normally have move this fast? Yes, they do. They're supposed to. I'm excited, but also nervous. It's okay. You're nervous because you care. When I joined Amazon Kindle about 9, 10 years ago, guy, 13, I can't remember. The first project I've joined Amazon, the on-site loop has 9 people. The entire process from the moment that the recruiter reached out to you, from the moment you have an offer, was almost 2 months. I basically put a process in place where from A to B is 2 to 3 weeks. So from the moment you talk to the recruiter, from the moment you have an offer, it could be done within 2 weeks or 3 weeks max. Okay. Any company who has a recruiting process that's older that have your candidate lingering for more than 3 weeks, it's a likelihood of them moving to a different company as well, right? Because if it's a mutual fit, an organization should move very quickly. If they like you after the onsite, especially the hiring manager, generally they will schedule or already schedule the debrief the following day or 2 days above. Which is why if you are interviewing like end of the week or so and everyone is busy, it may end up to be the following week. That's why it's being dragged out a little bit. But if the phone screen is thumbs up and they're basically saying, depending on the feedback, of course, they really like you, on site. There's no time to waste. Hey, SJ, how are you? You finally got your work permit. Yes, 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 yes. Congratulations. Can't wait to get back into the game after 1 year of waiting. I bet. I bet. Let me do this here. Fall says, have you coached, helped supply chain leaders to get recruited at Amazon? Do you need experience in high tech customer industry to get into Amazon? My background is in oil and gas. Well, that's a good question. Let me answer the first one for you. Have I helped supply chain leaders get recruited at Amazon? That's 50% of the people I've helped at Amazon. Do you need industry experience? No. I'm confident to say that so far, if I have to do the math and I like facts and results, I'm very result driven. I would say every 9 out of 10 folks from military background all ended up as an ops PM or somewhere in operation within Amazon worldwide. I would say that it is rare for me to help someone that come from a logistics, supply chain, or fulfillment background because Amazon doesn't care about that. Not everyone have experience working for fulfillment. And quite honestly, there's not a whole lot of company that has that, right? A lot of them are from third-party logistics or something similar. If you're in oil and gas industry, there's got to be something relevancy. Fulfillment, the definition of fulfillment is really operational, right? It's your operational business judgment. It's how smart you are in the role that you were in. So it has nothing to do with having specific experience. It has so much to do with what have you delivered in those different industry outside of tech companies. I also may want to ask that all the ops PM or ops folk that I have helped landed a job at Amazon, are you guys ready for this? None of them came from a tech company. If you need me to repeat that again, you go ahead and you do it. None of them do. And please, 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 guys, do not reach out. I repeat, do not reach out to the people who have endorsed me on my business page, my sell page, and my LinkedIn endorsement. Because one, not everyone is comfortable writing an endorsement for this reason. They don't want to be bombarded with a bunch of strangers wanting to jump on a call with them. Can you look at my resume to see if it's a good fit for them? They don't have time for that. Why, professional? Because they have done everything to get that job, hard earned, and most likely they have all bombed their interview multiple times. So if you put yourself in that situation, which I also get yelled at by a couple people, by the way, on LinkedIn, by the way, LinkedIn is really powerful. You should really network with like-minded people, but don't ever say anything negative on there because all eyes are watching you, right? Right? You guys know that. Recruiters are watching you, employers are watching you, hiring managers are watching you. So if you say anything negative, LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's all professional workplace friendly environment. For example, I have someone who it was a post. It was during, was it, I want to say January of this year, where I was just so exhausted, where I remember spending 3 hours every single day with my laptop in front of my bed. My son is asleep. And in my coaching cohort, they know because when I responded to some of the stories review, it's like 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, I work kind of hard. So if you're gonna reach out to me, jump on a quick call, review your resume for free, I don't have time to. That's what these sessions are for. That's why I created courses that you can afford, right? So imagine that. So I wrote a page basically asking everyone to use their best judgment. Don't reach out to every single person. True story, because they come to me. Holly, I'm really overwhelmed. It looks like a lot of the people are asking me about your VIP cohort, and they want me to review their LinkedIn profile and see if it's worth for them to join your course, if they can hire because I'm at Amazon. They don't have time to. It's not that they don't want to answer you. Imagine, I want you all to use your best judgment. Put yourself in the other person's perspective. It's not that they don't want to help you, it's that they're getting so many of them. So many of them, and they have a full time job, which they work their tail into getting. A few months with me, by the way, okay? Now put yourself in their shoe. And in my case specifically, it's not that I don't want to help you guys. I don't know if you've heard, but on Christmas of 2020, I made a post and I accepted, and the post is 12 days of free coaching by Holly Lee. Yes, I've done a lot of pro bono work for 2020. It's not that I don't want to help you. I have helped you, but there's got to come to a time where I don't have time to go back and forth in messages with you. And I only want, even in my group coaching cohort, if I don't like our if I don't like our message correspondence, if I don't feel that you are going to follow instruction, I can't even put you in my cohort because I like things to be moving as rapidly as possible and get you the results. I think that is one of the big gap that a lot of business owners or coaches, if I could be more specific, don't focus on. It's not really having how many customers that are in your program or as a client. It's about how many customers have you been able to successfully get them the results, right? And I'm someone who's extremely obsessed in delivering result, and that's a weakness. Go look at my an example of my weaknesses where I told you about a negative feedback from my manager, a leader at Amazon that told me I was doing too much. It's not even my scope. But guess what? Because I've done what I've done, that leader, the team that I've done it for, are now the president of a very big company and wanted to know if I'm interested in supporting them. Do you see where I'm going? When you do good work, people will always, always remember you. And it's also word of mouth, and they will always come back to you, right? So, with that in mind, I'm going to ask a lot of you guys right now, be very, very cautious when you reach out to other people for work. I want to think that genuinely, and let's be real here. When I started my own business, I took off my corporate hat and I threw it away. Facebook treated me fantastic. It is a great company. I was spoiled. It's all about employee happiness, but I wanted to be a coach and I took that risk. And guess what? I didn't pick up the phone and call other coaches to walk me through because they wanted to charge me thousands and thousands of dollars that I didn't have because I wasn't making any money. You see that? So even though I was going through all of those experiences myself, and I wanted to help those who really want to utilize a lot of the stuff that's already on my channel for you for free. It is for free. And if you have specific questions of where you're stuck in what part of my video, even down to creating your story, show up to these sections because I'm more than happy to answer all of them for you. Okay? Arun says, I haven't watched your video or playlist yet. Plan on doing that this week. Do you also offer private coaching? Arun, I'm very, very selective in private coaching. At the moment, I will consider that for those who are in my coaching cohort because I don't want to waste time. I have experience where I had a lot of folks who landed an offer out of just one private coaching with me. And I've had not so much, a couple where it was really dreadful for me to drag it out. I'm like, no, this is not going to work out. We need to cut it off because if I have to remind you to show up and you haven't done any work and you can't even tell me why you wanted to work for Amazon and it's been 1 month. I can't do that because I like and I enjoy working with people who really are ready to get the job. So if you are those type of leaders, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn and give me the opportunity to look at your LinkedIn profile and see if we could work together. But I am dead serious in focusing on the result, and I'll do whatever I can to help you get there. But it is hard to, there's only, and that's why I don't do conversational call or consultation call, because when you jump on the phone with people, everyone has the same thing. Holly, can you give me a review on my resume and tell me what I need? I'm like, I don't have time for that because you and all the other people are asking the exact same thing, which is why I devoted this free channel for you guys. Okay. By the way, if you guys want your LinkedIn profile or branding to be reviewed for free, that is my Friday session. Okay. Vadha, hey Vadha, found your YouTube channel and LinkedIn profile scrolling for preparing for my Amazon interview. I'm shortlisted for IT project engineer. Dorpoves location, where is that, Viha? I have been interviewed coming week. Do you have videos specific to this role? I don't make videos specific to a role. I don't think anyone does because at the end of the day, the behavioral question is all the same. So all you have to do is follow the strategy, okay? I'm from India and have no idea the cost of living and salary range in there. Can't find anything on Glassdoor. If you are looking for salary role, just put project engineer. A project engineer salary, and I would say project engineer and program manager comes very, very closely. And compare the two for the location. Don't look at the city, look at the country and kind of narrow it down a little bit. I have a video that's called Salary Negotiation at Amazon. That's the part one where I talked about, aside from salary.com, um, Glassdoor, and there's also FYI, Level FYI is a great resources, by the way. If information is not in there, you can just do a search on general Google. This is what I mean by you have to try every single thing and be really exhausted to see what else you can find because the recruiter is not going to tell you what is the market rate there. Okay. Um, and if it's a new position, don't look at Amazon. Just look at outside of Amazon what other people are making. Okay. For project engineer, you can get a feel. I know for a fact that all of the website that I've mentioned would give you a feel. I've never even heard of Dubrovik. What country is this for? I would look at the country. And in that country, I wanted to figure out where is a tech population, and I will do run a statistic on that, not just all of it, but specifically in the fast growing city. Okay. And Prague. Oh, yeah, Prague. There's definitely a lot of information on Prague. Amazon's been trying to recruit from Prague for a very long time. I'm not sure if the office is new, but I know that Prague was one of the places that they have hired a lot relocating to Seattle. It makes sense now if I don't know when, how long there's an office out there, but it totally makes sense. Yes, I can tell you, Prague is on Glassdoor and all of that for project engineer. I can guarantee you that. Okay. Dominic says, sorry I missed this video. When using stories during behavioral part of the interview, is it okay to name customer if they're well known, example Ford, or just because it's customer? You want it to be as specific as possible. Everybody repeat after me. Be specific, okay? Because as an interviewer, I need to know who your customers are. You can name drop Ford if you want to. If you don't feel like Ford, just say the largest automotive leader or the largest automotive industry leader. That's Ford. Okay. So be very, very specific. That also allowed them to think about the bigger scope and scale because Ford is a brand name. And now, what did you do for Ford? This is for a senior account manager role in CPG team. Awesome. That's pretty awesome. Good luck to you, Dominic. Let me know how it goes. Can I ask them salary range in the first interview? No. Absolutely not. You need to go check out my salary negotiation mistake, and that is mistake number one, asking them how much money they will be making or the ranges, okay? the best tip I can give you guys is, like, for me, even if someone says, Holly, I'm not sure if we can support you, I want to get the job, because if they really like you, they could work something out rather than talking about salary. Okay, now you're locked into a certain number, right? What if that's not the number that they could give you more? You didn't know that. So it's always best for someone to really love having you and about to hire you. That way you can leverage your knowledge, your amazing interview prepped in passing the interview, so that they can give you more. And yes, company absolutely have a way to go through exception for you as well. And Lou, yes, better late than never. Good seeing you. Sunbox Ron, greeting from Austria. For the writing exercise, I want to choose one of my previous projects 5 years ago. Would this be okay? Example to a no go. You can go back to 5 years. Remember, the important part of the writing example. Are you guys ready for this? The star methods, okay? I don't think that's part of your instruction, how you're going to write your example. Again, I'm not sharing this because Amazon taught me this. I'm doing this because while I was at Amazon, I've written a lot of paper. Okay, for example, your scope of the project or project statement, that is your situation and your task. What problem are you trying to solve? Okay, the how part, your action plan, is every single thing that you've done to plant the seed and to deliver result. And what is your business impact at the very end paragraph? I will not recommend more than 2 pages. Again, guys, people don't pay attention. Yeah. I don't know if you guys missed that. For those who joined late, they don't. And Anlu know, because Anlu is part of the team. Yep. And we have seen folks who ask the same question as well in the live stream without even taking as a grain of salt. I literally have said something and someone else asks the same thing. I'm telling you guys right now, it's not a big secret, okay? And I don't care what any other coaches says. The way how I prepped for job interviewed, doesn't matter what position title you are at the end of the day, it's all the same. Okay? You could be a fresh grad or a VP of a company, you still need your story. The biggest difference comparing apples and oranges, hang on, let me explain myself there, okay? If you're a junior person, you can always use your academia project that demonstrate your ownership and your result. Because I've had a couple people, I don't just take clients, but I've had a couple folks in 2020 who's very adamant that they want to work with me. They really want my coaching, and they actually took my private coaching. Yeah, I was blown away. That person ended up having multiple offer from FAANG company, but when I was asking her, tell me about the biggest impact that you've done as a college student. Simple, right? I was so, first of all, her answer was very long winded, but to cut it, to bring her down to earth, I basically rephrased what she said in our coaching session. And I said, so basically, what you're trying to tell me is, in your thesis, you're trying to build an app to monitor heart rate for clinics, hospital, in the healthcare environment. How did you know where to pick the top 4 best students with you in here? And she was able to trim down into delegating each part of the project for 4 of the strongest students in there. They were looking at the grade, where the students' background, where they're coming. It was so strategic. I'm like, wow, long-winded, but so strategic. And I said, okay, what was you? Okay, you build a team, you initiated everything. You have a brainstorm section. Which part of all of that did you initiate? That is your responsibility. And I want to fall off my chair. I'm talking about somebody who's still in school, by the way, who have her bachelor's degree, who's finishing up her master. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so smart. Why are we having this conversation? And this person previously applied to Facebook, Google, and Amazon, and could not pass the initial screen at all. She worked with me. She was in my group coaching cohort. She was really busy in school. So we turned that into private coaching. Like I mentioned, it takes really a lot for me to do that because I don't have that much time of the day. Talking about time of the day, the clock is ticking right now, and After the live stream, I have to edit this video and I have to go pick up my son and my day is over. You see where I'm going? That's why I can't just do it for anyone. But the bottom line was, I jump on a call. She spent 3 hours in private coaching, and we honed in on all of her story. We fixed it. We focused solely in mock and reverse interviewed, and boom, 2 weeks later, she told me she had 3 offers. One of the other company was outside of FAANG, and she chose a teleco company. And I'm like, wow, really? This is from someone who built an app for medical industry. You chose a teleco company. I'm like, okay, you must be building something, a mobile app or something. I was blown away. And yes, I'm still in touch with this person, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example. You could be a VP. You could be an entry level. You could be an op manager. It does not matter what position you are. You just have to follow my process. My process is very structured. I'm very data oriented, and I like people to I like to force people to think outside of the box where they're not waiting for me to give them an answer. And if you're someone who's waiting for me to hold your hand and give you an answer, that's not me, and that's just not how I work. The first time here, very, very helpful, great content. Thanks, Fall. Thank you so much for the heart and thumbs up, Sunbox. My pen, hey, my pen. I've Googled interview questions with Amazon. I've Googled interview questions with Amazon. You don't have to Google the question. I have it all for you already. Just look at my playlist. Amazon interview questions and answer. But cannot always tell what LP is targeted. You need to rewatch this where I talk about knowing the LP, but don't put your heart and soul into the LP. If you're freaked out, that's absolutely normal. Absolutely normal. But hey, guess what, guys? This is how I coach my group coaching cohort, and a lot of them landed a job at Amazon. They use the same strategy that I've coached them and land the same multiple offer with other FAANG company. And you know what? The kicker is quite a few of them to startup over that. Yeah, that is the fact. So don't think of just one direction or other. Every coach is different. Let me just pause for 1 second, okay? If you're, for example, if you ask a hiring leader at Amazon, if you ask a bar racer, if you ask the recruiter at Amazon right now, and coaches or recruiters or I don't know, whatever you want to call them, that never worked for Amazon before, all of them, and you put me in the middle, everyone is going to give you different answers. All of them do. So when you landed into my channel, in this channel, I don't just want to tell you to tell you. I'm going to guide you to how to get there. Hence why there's a template for every single leadership principle, questions and answer. Okay? You just have to follow them. M Doman. I love your work and need to acknowledge how valuable it is. I'm interested in personal coaching session. Can you let me know how much you charge? Again, I will be a Boy Scout. Thanks. Madoman, if you're interested, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Do not go to my website because there's a couple hundred backdated that I haven't even gone back to them because I read everything. But for me to answer, I need to make sure that we are actually a mutual fit. So if you reach out to me via LinkedIn, I would love to look at your LinkedIn profile and see if we are a good fit because it does take a lot for private coaching. Okay? And oh, how rude. And I am the only Holly Lee who is a career coach. And I was the only Holly Lee at Amazon. Could you believe it? It's like John Doe. So make sure you guys are committed to me. Committed to me. Yeah, committed to me too. Reach out to me via LinkedIn and let me know if you have questions on services. What do you need? But when you do reach out to me, please be specific. Do not reach out to me to go back and forth. I need your help. Can you help be specific? Okay. I have an interview or I don't have an interview. I need help with careers transitioned. Something. Give me something to work with. Okay. Tamra, I was asked the salary range before my first interviewed. And then again, before my on-site, was this a mistake? Well, I don't know. It really depends. Generally, when recruiters ask you for your salary expectation is because they also have a bad experience of not being able to afford you. They wanted to know what they're getting themselves into. Just to let all of you guys know, I wanted to say it's by law that you don't have to disclose how much money you make. There's no law that you have to show like your W 2 or anything like that. Okay. Now, not to say that you do not want to make things up. Okay. Don't just throw number to throw number, which is why you have to watch my salary negotiation playlist. There are 3 video. It walks you through every single thing. You can go ahead and skip part 2 because that's relocation and teaching you how to relocate. What am I saying? Teaching you how to negotiate your bonuses when it comes to relocation. Relocation, Lord, I need more coffee. Oh my God, the power of coffee. Italian coffee. Ooh, yes. By the way, the next time when I travel anywhere, I would love to be in Europe with my boss, which is a 3.5-year-old boy. As long as I don't have to take the car seat with me through the airport security and all of that, then I will take him to international trip. That's telling me that it's probably not going to happen for a few more years. Okay. And I'm carefully scrolling through because I don't want to miss any of your information, okay? Fall says you have a great microphone and headphone. Can you please share the link for them? Is it okay to use these on the video? Of course. I mentioned budget friendly earlier, but if you guys want to, I don't know if I have it any. If I haven't, my apologies. If you go to my description, it has recommended gear. This I'm a big fan of Shure. This is the Shure SM7B. I love it. I want to like sleep and cuddle with this mic because this is what I believe this is what Michael Jackson uses when he sings the Thriller song, but this is what the Joe Rogan mic. Joe Rogan is, if you guys don't know him, he is a fantastic YouTuber, and now I think what's it, Spotify or Pandora, basically one of them are paying him to host all of his podcasts in the radio, their streaming station. Okay, that's how good he is with this mic. The only reason why you should buy this mic, if you're just interviewing or doing meetings, someone, I will not recommend this for you because it's expensive. The mic alone costs $400, and then you have to buy an amplifier or something to boost up the phantom power because the mic is very low. You see? So there's a lot of gear, there's a lot of wire. I will not recommend that. I would recommend like a Blue Yeti, which is $100 max. In fact, you don't even need that. So if you look at my recommended gear, you can get a sound very close up, but you need foams or being in a room with carpet or blankets or something to black out the echo of the phone. This mic is so fantastic that I have no phone, nothing, because it comes ready. Okay. You talk about this, you don't need this. All you need is your phone headset. Don't waste your money. If you really want to spend money on cool gadget, I'm more than happy to drop you some link in the video later on if you are interested in this gear, but you don't need to be spending a couple hundred on a headphone. I have to do this because I have to block out all the noises. I live in downtown Seattle, which means you guys during this live stream, there are sirens, there's honking, okay? Sometime I hear the I hear the dumpster truck in the alley. Okay, to make things worse, my living room, if you look out the window, you can tell the dumpster truck driving past. You can hear everything on the street, and this mic eliminate all of the background noises. That's why I am paying for this. If I had an option, I will not be. Okay, so I'm contradicting myself. You can tell how passionate I am with gear. I have a Shure um, 51, which is a fantastic mic. That is the one that Elvis Presley uses, and that's about $150. Again, you do not need it. Just get a plug and play Blue Yeti. I recommend a Blue Yeti. It's on sale right now for $75. I know that because I literally told one of my friends to buy it because one of her son is a brand new YouTuber, okay? Do not waste your money on expensive stuff. You don't need it. This is my job. I kind of need it. I kind of need to show up good for you guys. You can have bad production quality. My light could be, but I could be dark and you can't see my face, but I must have the audio working. Without the audio, you're not going to land an interview. Clearly, okay? No echo, none of that stuff. Even live streaming, if you can't see me at the bare minimum, you need to hear what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm purposely spending more time. Let's talk YouTube. What other questions do you have for me when it comes to virtual interview? Okay. Um, I have a whole video where I walk you guys through like bits by bits of things. Also, I have an iMac. I use an iMac. The iMac has fantastic camera that's built into the iMac. Don't waste your money. If you're using like a MacBook or any like laptop, I don't like it. It's too close up to your face. If you put it too far, then it's just awkward. Okay. I don't like it. I would highly recommend that you get a cheap webcam. And I also dropped the link there. I have a Logitech 920. And at the time, it was $95 or $75. Basically, don't spend more than $100 on a webcam. Okay. Alrighty. I have Carson Brooks. I love your videos, by the way. I'm so glad you guys love my video. Yes, I'm so happy. I know my production quality really suffer, really suffer. I get that. I mean, and once in a while, I get people yelling at me to say, I stopped watching your video because your production quality is so poor. I know. But listen, when my home was flooded, I had no gear. Whatever you guys were watching, it was literally right off of my camera. And the audio, embarrassingly to say, it was right off of my iPhone. You can tell, right? And sometimes you can tell me putting my iPhone headset on. That is the audio that's coming right off of it. When you got no choice, you still have to show up the best that you can, which reminds me, when you're interviewing and you know that you're messing up, let yourself messed up and bring yourself back to earth, right? I'm sorry. Um, this is not a good example for, I don't feel like I've answered your question. Can we do that again? You see that? It's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not show up sharp. You just need to be able to bounce back. Okay? I'm interviewing for a maintenance tech 3 tomorrow. Should I use notes during the interview? I have a lot of technical answer and it's hard to retain. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not going to tell you yes or no because this is being live streamed worldwide. Wink, 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 wink. You guys got the wink? Don't make it obvious if you're reading your notes, okay? If they're asking you technical questions, you may ask them if you could write it down because it's technical. It helps you to remember and thoughtfully write out your answer in problem solving on the tech side. Okay. You do not, I'm going to repeat myself. You do not want to ask the interviewer if you can write the question down in every single question because that's demonstrating that you're probably a little bit junior. Okay. You do not want to do that. If you need them to if you know that the question is kind of hard and you wanted to buy time, you can absolutely ask them to repeat themselves and you slowly write it down. You have 10 seconds to give them an answer. Okay, you can do that. But you can also ask them if you can take note during the interviewer, but don't make it so obvious that you're looking at your note and you can tell, right? Well, at least I can tell. I can tell if you have to like scramble things, if you have all of your story in front of you, you're going to get confused. So rather than doing that, why don't you just focus on the key ones that you're struggling with? The things that you should absolutely know is one, the most technical problem that you have solved, being a tech person, even non-tech. Two, how do you solve a problem with no data? Everyone in the mom in all the companies going to ask you that. Three, how do you problem solve using, when you're a tech, design, algorithm, data structure, binary tree, mapping, whatever that may be, right? Tell me a time that you have conflict with your peers, manager, or customer. You must have that, okay? And of course, let's not forget the most innovative thing that you've done and how you're able to earn trust, okay? And also, your weaknesses and your career failure also are in it as well. And that is why my leadership principle playlist has all of those questions, guys. Don't waste your time. A lot of you guys are asking me questions, I can't find. Why are you looking all over the places? I'm telling you, I have layout all for you. In fact, I put sprinkle around the playlist for you where you can just see it. In fact, I have step 1, 2, and 3 to guide you there, okay? Alrighty, are you guys hearing the passion from my voice right now to you? That's exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Mai says, car seat through the airport is no fun. Yes, especially when your kid doesn't sit there for very long. And I don't like to tie him down, and the seat it doesn't have that much cushion, and I feel bad if it's a long flight. I'll do it for like an hour to 2 hour max. But, then again, mama need a vacation every now and then, and I can work anywhere in the world. It's coming. For those of you who are, especially mom, let's not talk about the dad. It's the mom, okay? Dad usually don't understand what the mom goes through. Gentlemen, if you have a spouse, your wife, and children, please go and give your wife a hug. Give your wife a really big hug because it's a lot of work being a mom. You are really the front facing of the whole family to put them all together, especially when it comes to traveling and making sure that things are up and running. People don't think about that. I mean, it changes everything for moms. I think if I didn't have my son, I would probably do private coaching, and I would probably live stream almost every single day because I'm very obsessive of coaching. But I'm very glad to have him in my life and cannot imagine my life any differently. But it is kind of a lot. Sunbox says, when you come to Europe, Dutch countries again, I'll invite you to my best handmade coffee, Italian coffee machine. I'm sure you'll love it. Oh my God, let's just focus on you for the rest of the stream. Like, what? Did you just say coffee? I think I'm more passionate about drinking coffee than I am more of the star method. I need coffee so I can have the energy for star. Yes. The best coffee I've ever had in my entire life was all from Amsterdam. And yes, I'm absolutely going back there. But I wanted to, everywhere I go in the world, the first thing I do for breakfast is not what to eat for breakfast. It's give me my coffee. I want the coffee to be so smooth, so good, but dark enough, just the right ingredients where I don't add sugar. I drink my coffee black. So I want that, the ground flavor. Okay, this is completely off the record, but hey, you mentioned coffee. What do you expect? All right, Carson, I literally have all of your gear. You're disgusting. I'm a drum. Oh, you're a drummer. Oh, yes, then you need this. 57s and your Sennheiser. Oh my God, look at you. Yes, you can tell this is a Sennheiser. Headphones are great. I have a Focusrite. I have a cheap Focusrite. 3 I 313. It is a great gear. That's all you need. You don't need the fancy stuff. I also use a Blue Yeti. Hey, I love the Blue Yeti. It is the lowest in cost, but the quality of the Blue Yeti sounds just as good as a plug and play. Sure. I mean, it's amazing. I just can never ever use a Blue Yeti living in the city. Not gonna work. If I move to a bigger place, maybe in the suburb or somewhere that's away from cars and streets, where I have interview, I may just have a Blue Yeti in the middle of the table and do interview in cross table. Okay, you know what? Who am I kidding? In that case, I'm just gonna buy two of these because I love my microphone so much. Okay. I think the hardest thing about being a content creator that a lot of people don't think of is the production, is the post, right? This, I don't have to edit the audio. I just fix my video and I'm ready to go. But with the Blue Yeti and other microphone, I have to adjust the audio, especially when I'm interviewing someone on my show. Gosh, it takes me 10 hours to audit every single thing. Just audio alone takes me 5 hours. And that's why you guys don't see any guests on my show. Okay? John, hey John, over 9 years, I have identified opportunities, new technologies, and leverage data in transformation strategy, design, data infrastructure projects. Are you? Oh, okay. Introduction. Okay, let me start over. Make sure you put the Q in front of your question and tell me what your question is before you give me the answer. Okay. Good to see you here, John. Okay. For over 9 years, I've identified opportunity to utilize new technologies and leverage data in the transformational strategy design for data infrastructure across several projects and industry. Be specific. What type of projects? With end-to-end data analytics system and support my program management decision. I like it, but let's redo this, okay? Let's redo this. This could be, so tell me about yourself, John. So, John, why do you want to be here? Why do you think this is a good fit? So, John, who are you? Um, I have over 9 years of experience in what? What are you the lead? Your transformation. What does that mean? Are you an IT leader, engineer? What is it? Be specific, okay? I have over 9 years of experience as a what, where I had a great opportunities to bring new technologies and leveraging data in the transformational strategy design for data infrastructure across several what type of projects. Um, with industries such as climate, health, and fintech. I'm going to drop the agriculture because it's not relevant to Amazon, right? If your intent is to get to tech company, you want to stick to climate, health, and fintech is a big one. Um, oh, you guys are typing, so it's moving my thing up. Let me just go ahead and do this. Sorry, guys. Okay, right there. That's what I wanted to read. With end-to-end data analytics system to support my program management decisions, where I was able to help reduce 30 to 70% ROI. And I would just stop right there. Do you see where I'm going? You don't want to talk too much text or too much um, terminology, keywords. That way, I'm getting a lot of tongue twists. You just want to get right into the point as quickly as possible. That should take you about 20 seconds or so. Okay. Let me go ahead and unpin that. There you go. Hope that helps. Leo, last Friday I had Loop interview for cloud infrastructure architecture position. Today I got an email from the recruiter. I was told that an offer will be extended. Yay! Yes, 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 yes. Thank you for coming in to sharing that with me, Leo. I will schedule a time to discuss the detail about the offer. Before you jump on the offer call, Leo, check the salary negotiation playlist, okay? So you know what the numbers look like. Congratulations, Leo. Reach out to me on LinkedIn right here so that I can send you a message to my private group, which is 90 something percent Amazonian. Okay, let's go on with more questions, shall we? Are there any more questions? Is there anyone out there? Hello, is there anyone out there? I'm just kidding. Okay, I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, okay? And let me wrap this up by talking about just overall interview prepped. I'm not going to repeat what I've said in every single live stream, but here's how I wanted to end today's session. When you guys are prepping for any kind of meeting, you can call it job interview or not, you need to make sure that when you don't feel like you're ready, you have to just postpone the interview or just cancel it. Because if an interviewer or recruiter, aka employer, is interested in you, you're already in the targeted list as in hot lead, which means your background looks really, really good. So even if the position is full, they're gonna call you again, okay? I don't know what this is. I had a meeting with one of my peers in the community where we're both going through the same thing where people are so anxious. They just wanted like results right away. And as a coach, you kind of know when your people are not ready and they're just so reluctant to follow instructions. Your ability to listen is key. If you cannot listen to me, and I'm giving you a lot of data in a very short and quick amount of time, and if you can't do that, even if you get a position at Amazon or any of these big companies, any company for that matter, nothing, if you think that there's processes in place and all of that, no. A lot of these FAANG companies are looking at you to come in and build the process, putting execution strategies in place for them. Okay. So again, if you are it sounds like a lot of you guys are preparing for your job interview. There has not been a single day that's gone past where I don't have at the bare minimum 10 messages, 10 that tells me that they're nervous, they know they're not ready, but if they don't take this interview, they're afraid that it may never come back again. Don't do that. Be good to yourself. Just be good to yourself. The opportunities will always be there, guys. It's not going anywhere. Okay? So until Friday session at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, if you are not already a paid YouTube member in my community. You just have to hit the join button. If you do, you will support my work. In the Friday session, I do a lot of stories review as well as your LinkedIn profile. Until then, please be safe and enjoy the rest of your week.